Many shrines in Japan, aside from looking cool, actually have some really interesting themes, often relating to the local area's culture and maybe even offering some solutions to the common local problems. Or some more niche problems like this. Most people, I assume, don't fly that often, but it does seem like a nice peace of mind for a pilot or flight attendant or even a traveling businessman. If you don't know much about shrines yet though, most shrines in Japan are focused around something specific, whether that's a specific god, cats, or even music. Also, one thing I want to clarify, which you might already know, is that a shrine doesn't have to be some giant 2,000-year-old complex with over 100 buildings that's rebuilt every 20 years. It doesn't even have to be one building either. It could just be something as simple as this. It's essentially, in the simplest form, a structure that houses a kami or god. Some of these are also Buddhist temples that incorporate a shrine into them. The last important thing that I think must be talked about is omamori, meaning protection or defense. Omamori are basically protective charms that you buy at temples and shrines for a specific purpose. Since the shrines house the kami, they can't exactly come with you. So the purpose of the charm is to sort of store the blessing, luck, or goal so you can take it with you. Some don't rely on these, and some it's better to just buy one, but it's not necessary, and some don't even sell them. So I think it's important to know about it because it will come up. With all that out of the way, let's get into the shrines. Go Tokuji. This one is actually a Buddhist temple, but has a shrine in it and shares similarities with shrines. I know I said I would talk about some uncommon shrines, and you've probably heard about this one, but what you might not have heard of is the backstory of the cats that fill the temple grounds and can be found all over in and out of Japan, not just on the grounds of the shrine. The story goes something like this. Lee Naotaka was on his way back from the falconry, and was beckoned to stop at the Go Tokuji temple by a beckoning cat. Soon after entering the temple, a violent thunderstorm erupted, and the men marveled at the good fortune of the cat and thanked the temple priest. Also, an important note here, according to the legend, the temple wasn't doing so great monetarily. However, after Lee Naotaka and his men were saved by the temple, Go Tokuji became the family temple for the Lee clan. After this, the temple prospered and still exists to this day. Back to the modern temple though, it's littered, in a good way, with a ton of beckoning cats. Some of which have some funny quirks, and you can even buy a cat while you're there to contribute to the prosperity of the temple. Also, they sell the omamori that I mentioned earlier and some cat-themed merchandise. The next shrine is in the Nishiarai Daishi temple. Aside from the beautiful temple with a peony garden and koi pond, it contains a shrine for the purpose of curing warts. To cure your wart, first you have to make an offering to the kami through the offering box, bow, then you can throw some salt on the saint and then rub a little salt on your wart. Throw it back on the pile and bow. Then, hopefully, if you did everything correctly, your wart should disappear soon. Also, as a side note, salt was thought to cure warts at some point. Like I said earlier, some of these shrines are very niche. I'm not sure how many people are actually affected by warts. I actually have one on my thumb right now though, so maybe it's more popular than I'm thinking. There's also another figure at the same temple. Kobo Daishi is said to heal anyone who makes an offering. In a similar process to the other shrine, you make an offering, ladle water over his head, rub the problem area with one scrub brush, and then hopefully within due time, your problem area will be cured. The omamori you can buy here are supposed to contribute to your health, obviously. The next shrine has more of a normal goal than the wart one, however, the way you go about this one is a little strange.
Nanzoin Temple.
In order to fix your luck here, the procedure is to put an offering in the box, put your hands together, and ask for what you need. Then, you choose a piece of rope from the rack, tie it around the figure, then, once your wish is granted, you come back and untie one of the ropes. I really like this one because it feels like the kami is helping you just to get untied. It seems like you're basically holding him hostage until the wish is granted. I'm going to leave some parts out here because this is a very long story, but in short, the backstory of this starts long ago. A cloth merchant's apprentice was hauling cloth through the mountains. Being that it was a hot day and he was tired, he spotted a shady temple by the river and rested there. While he was sleeping, his cloth was stolen. Upon waking up and finding this, he went to the nearest town and reported the theft. After listening to the man's story, the local magistrate had deemed that it must have been the stone Jizo statue. Due to the area being so remote, they figured the only possible culprit could have been the statue. The bailiff and his deputies arrested the stone statue and tied him up with the strongest rope. That way he doesn't run. The townspeople followed this closely, literally following them down the streets and crowding around the statue. Wondering why the statue was arrested, many people showed up. Everyone in the area had gathered into the same place. After the area became full, the gates were barred, not allowing anyone to leave. And after searching each carriage, the stolen cloth was found. This was part of the magistrate's plan all along in order to trap the thief. They knew the thief couldn't resist going to see what the whole crowd was about. Then, as time passed and people kept telling the story, they just started tying up the statue for fun, I guess, even though his innocence was proven. Go Shrine, a shrine dedicated to lower body injuries. This is very vague everywhere I have read it, so I just assume it's broken bones, sprained ankles, pulled muscles, and anything of that sort. I guess it's more general than vague, actually. If you have a lower body injury, this is the shrine to go to. The reason the shrine is dedicated to such a thing is because of an old legend. In this legend, there was a man named Wake no Kiyomaru. He was on a trip, however, tragedy struck when he was attacked and his legs were injured. Not being able to travel with his injuries, he was saved by 300 boars that brought him to his destination and to better health. That man, Wake no Kiyomaru, is actually the deity that resides in the shrine. And there are boar statues to honor the 300 boars that assisted him and hopefully assist others in their injuries. Many of these boar statues actually look really unique, however, this one is my favorite. This one's cool too though, hidden away on the roof. I had no idea boars were so agile. Also, a little added bonus, there is another shrine here that can also be a place to pray for the well-being of children and child rearing. This is because Wake no Kiyomaru's sister, Wake no Hiromushi, is said to have taken care of 83 children who lost their families due to war. So that's pretty wholesome, I think. The omamori here, as you would assume, are here to help with lower body injuries. But one thing I noticed is that it isn't only for healing injuries, but also preventing them from even happening in the first place, which seems preferable. I would much rather just not break my legs in the first place. The last shrine I wanted to talk about is Udo Jingū. This one doesn't have crazy histories or myths like the other one, at least not in the humorous or strange type of way. It does seem to have a lot of big names attached to it though. That's why I put this one in last. However, I just wanted to include it because this one looks absolutely insane. I don't know how I have never seen this before, maybe you've seen it, but just look at it. The main shrine sits under this overhang of the mountain, making for a really cool looking shrine. But the outside is even better, with this stunning waterfall and cliff and a really awesome outlook. And I will add a little lore here. The cave is the Ochichi Iwa, or breaststone, a dripping stone which is said to have fed the kami Ugaya Fukiaezu, father of the first emperor of Japan when his mother returned to the sea. So that's pretty cool. Pardon me, that's a very long word. The shrine also sells candy made from that water so you can eat just like the kami. Also, apparently you can purchase small clay balls and attempt to toss them between the peaks for good luck. Honorable mentions, kind of. These are ones that I thought looked really cool when I was looking at shrines for this video. I found all these researching for the video and I didn't really want to leave them out. I didn't really feel like some of them would fit into the video lore-wise, but like the Udo shrine, they just look really cool, so I wanted to add them in. Oh, and this yokai shrine, which I also didn't want to put in the video, and that's due to the fact that I can't really tell if it's a serious shrine. I think it is, but I honestly can't tell. They basically have references to a bunch of yokai, like an Itan Momen Torigate and a mechanical yokai that tells fortunes. That's it though for the video. Please do like and subscribe if you liked this video. Thank you for watching. This one's a little different from what I normally do, so if you did like it, please do leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.